Hi guys, in this video I will be showing you on how to present your data in Chapter 3. Before we proceed, we need to go back to the statement of the problem. In this example, the study is entitled Pursuing the Global English Speaking Proficiency of the Senior High School Students. There are 5 questions that need to be answered in the study. The data that answers these questions need to be presented in the same order as they appear in your SOP, which means that in presenting your data in Chapter 3, number 1 should be your first heading, number 2 is your second, number 3 is your third, and so on and so forth. The first question, what are the pre- and post-assessment English-speaking proficiency mean scores of the senior high school students? In your data presentation, the first heading should read, the pre- and post-assessment English-speaking proficiency scores of the senior high school students. You need to change the question into a heading. Don't show the question itself. On the second question, what are the perceived needs of the students to improve their English-speaking proficiency? The second heading in your data presentation should be the perceived needs of the students to improve their English-speaking proficiency. On the third question, is there any significant difference between the post-assessment mean scores of the senior high school students and the hypothetical mean? The third heading should be the mean gain of the post-assessment English-speaking proficiency scores of the senior high school students from the hypothetical mean. Please note that the term gain does not necessarily mean that there is an increase in the scores. Thus, a decrease is also described as a gain score. For the 2 remaining questions, you can answer these yourselves. Feel free to post your answers on the comments down below. As you have already made sections for your chapter, please note that you don't put your raw data in this section. You have to put your raw data in the appendices and give it a specific title, such as Appendix A, the pre- and post-assessment English-speaking proficiency scores of the senior high school students. And then don't forget to call that appendix with its title in this section. Your table should also have a name. For example, if this is your first table in your research paper, you should refer to it as Table 1, the pre- and post-assessment English-speaking proficiency mean scores of the senior high school students. Take note that these titles will show in this section at least 3 times. I know it is redundant, but remember that in your preliminaries, you have a page that shows the list of your tables. So that means that in your list of tables in your preliminaries, this particular table under this title should be shown, including the page number of where it is on, so that it could be found easily. After you have presented your table, you should also present a narrative for that particular table. You have to describe the context of that table. For example, from Table 1, the actual means of the senior high school student in the pre-assessment under fluency, lexical, resource, grammar, and pronunciation were 4.325, 3.7, 3.65, and 5.025 respectively. In the post-assessment under fluency, lexical resource, grammar, and pronunciation, the means are 4.75, 4.4, 3.98, and 5.20. See raw data on Appendix A, the pre-assessment English-speaking proficiency mean scores of the senior high school student. In this description, I described first all of the means under the pre-assessment, and I also mentioned the standard deviation. You don't need to present the error. It's up to you to present your table showing all of the pre-assessment first and then followed by the post-assessment. If your raw data where these numbers are coming from are from Appendix B, of course, then you should call Appendix B. In this case, in our example, the raw data is in Appendix A. In presenting differences, you can also use graphs so that a comparative visualization is easily achieved. When you do this, you have to be consistent on the terms that you used. For example, in your terms used in the study were pre-assessment and post-assessment. However, in this example, the keys to identify the colors on the graph show blue as pre-test and orange as post-test. Now, to be consistent, the term used to identify the colors of the bars in this graph should be pre-assessment for the blue bar and post-assessment for the orange bar. So that's all for the presentation of data. The other tables will be presented in the next video where I discuss the data interpretation and analysis. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.